Starting on BBC Two now, Churchill and the Generals. Timothy West heads a star cast in an epic BBC drama portraying the relationships between the famous wartime leader and the military strategists. Here on BBC One, in 10 minutes, the Sunday film is Hotel, based on Arthur Haley's best-selling novel about the drama and excitement of life in a luxury hotel. First, the news with Richard Whitmore. It's 7 minutes past 8.
At least 20 zebra and antelope have now died on a British cargo plane sitting at Rome Airport because of a dispute over health documents. The animals on their way from South Africa to a zoo in Naples are not being allowed into Italy because officials say they haven't got the necessary health clearance, and South Africa has refused to take them back. When the plane landed at Rome, there were 31 antelope and 17 zebra on board, packed in small crates. Now nearly half of them are dead, as David Willey reports from Rome.
The British cargo plane has been parked on the apron for almost 3 days, and it's causing airport authorities more headaches than a hijack. When the plane landed from South Africa, it carried 31 live antelope and 17 zebra. Almost half the animals have since died due to the cramped conditions of transport. The crates were not designed for a long stay. Although keepers from a nearby safari park have been providing some food and water, airport health authorities say the animals lack the necessary health documentation for entry into Italy. The British airline claims it has ample experience in the transport of wild animals and says the paperwork is adequate. The Italian section of the World Wildlife Fund has strongly criticized the suffering being caused to the animals, and it's pointed out that one of the zebra belongs to a species whose export is forbidden, as it's in danger of extinction.
The deadlock continues in northern France over the fate of the former dictator of the Central African Empire, the self-styled Emperor Jean Bokassa. For 2 days, Bokassa's been on board his private plane at a Normandy airfield after the bloodless coup that deposed him. He didn't appear even when members of his entourage were allowed off for a meal. It's thought the French are seeking a country that will take him. In Bangui, the capital of the renamed Central African Republic, French combat troops keep order. They were flown in at the request of the country's new leader, President Dako. He said he wants Bokassa extradited because he's got direct evidence that the dictator murdered schoolchildren in a massacre last April. The Pope has asked the people of the world to pray for the success of his visit to Ireland next week. Speaking at his Sunday blessing in the Vatican, the Pope said he was confident his visit would serve the cause of peace and reconciliation. One of the places he'll be visiting is Knock Shrine in County Mayo, regarded as the Lourdes of Ireland. Here's a report from Mike Mackay.
When Pope John Paul flies into Knock by helicopter, he'll find a village much changed since the strange events of 100 years ago. Today, the benefits of that event are not confined to miracle cures or spiritual renewal. On the strength of the apparition story, High Street Knock has built a thriving, if limited, economy. They've built other things too, like a vast car park for the pilgrims who come in such numbers that the authorities had to construct a new basilica. The biggest in Ireland, with room for 12,000 worshippers, it now overshadows the original village church. Here at the gable wall of the old church, the vision first appeared one rainy August evening 100 years ago. Over something like 2 hours, 20 villagers are said to have seen 3 figures: St. Joseph, the Virgin Mary, and St. John the Evangelist. The details were recalled in a recent documentary made by the Catholic Church, in which contemporary sketches showed the figures appearing in a brilliant light about 2 foot above the ground. Despite the rain, the earth beneath the vision remained perfectly dry. As the story spread, sick and handicapped people began to claim that they had been cured by visiting the Knock Church, claims seemingly borne out by the wooden crutches left on the church wall. Yet today, even as Knock prepares for its greatest celebration, the doubts and the questions continue. Some wonder if the vision wasn't induced by poverty and hunger. Others have suggested that it was a dubious story deliberately played up by the church to command humility and respect in a period of violence and popular unrest. Whether the vision at Knock was genuine or not is in a sense no longer the real argument. What matters today is that millions want to believe it and in so doing find great comfort. And for those people, the sight of Pope John Paul II kneeling in prayer at the shrine will be enough to put the argument beyond doubt.
British Leyland's decision to close their plant at Abingdon and stop manufacturing MGs has attracted the attention of MG owners. Their clubs started a campaign to make BL change its mind. Tony Skase reports.
2,000 MGs drove onto the old airfield at Bourne in Cambridgeshire for a national rally. Their owners turned the event into a campaign to fight British Leyland's plans.
MG owners are a special breed, and the announcement that production is to end at the Abingdon works after 50 years has resulted in a predictable reaction. The MG owners are determined to fight to save what they regard as the best car in the world.
Enthusiasts